Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm not sure what day it is. I think it's the 13th of April, Saturday. Another beautiful day here. We've had a kind of a weird stretch of weather, nice day, bad day. Not a lot of rain or anything, but hopefully that's coming. We can get some moisture in the ground. So got the 28 Dodge behind me here. I spent a day and a half, 2 days cleaning it up, changing the oil, getting everything ready for cruising season. It's been out for its first cruise. Everything's running great. The 5.7 Hemi, just a little bit of adjusting here and there on stuff and get her going. I had a flat tire late last fall on one of our senior care home cruises. And I found another a screw in the back tire here yesterday, so I fixed that as well. So just going to show you what I'm working on. I know I said I wasn't working on the 59 anymore, but between yard work and needing a break from raking leaves and trimming trees, I've been working on the bed for the floor, or the floor for the bed. I guess I should get that straight. So what I had was a local guy in a car club donated a square body, mid-80s square body pickup box that was rusted out really bad in the fenders, and the floor was in pretty decent shape. It had some dents in it. I removed all of the cross members from underneath, which was a hell of a big job. There's a lot of spot welds. I only had a couple that caused me some grief. I got a couple of small holes to weld up, and then I have to do final trimming on this. And I'll just show you what the plan is in the back of the 59 here. It's outside, so I don't have great lighting, but I'll show you what I've been doing. Just grab another light here. So when I took the bed apart on the 59, I saved all of the original cross members. Get another light going. And I saved them all, cleaned them all up, and I've got them all here. And what I'm doing is fitting them in the factory 2003 position on the frame, and then adjusting them adjusting the bed sides to them to make everything fit level and square. So what I've done, I've got the two center ones here done, or the center one, which only comes out part way, and then I have the next one up here. What I've done is wherever the cross member meets the mount, I'm welding on a 12 gauge pad with a nut, a 1/2 inch nut welded in the center of it, so that these can be bolted directly on. So this one, I'm just getting it all set up to go here. Figure out where the pad has to go, and then I'll make the pad. I'm plug welding it on. Once I get the front one done here, I have to figure out some sort of a mounting system to temporarily hold the back in position so I can take this mount out and make the pads for it and bolt it in place. So I'm going to carry on here. I'll show you the pads, how I get them figured out, mounted up, and then I'll show you the way that I'm mounting the box to the cross members prior to the bed floor going back in here. So bring you back. Okay, I got the 12 gauge plates built for the bottoms of the cross members in the box bed there. I have a 1/2 inch nut welded to the top side that'll screw up from the bottom, and then I have the 6 plug weld holes drilled through here to go in. So what I'll do next is I'll bolt these down to the mounts on the frame, and then I can put the cross member in on top of it. I'll clamp each of these, pull them out, and then I can spot weld these to the cross member in the correct location. I forgot to show these brackets as well. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of 18 gauge steel, shaped it, welded it in the end with a 5/16 bolt on the tab that's sticking down at the bottom. I've done that on both ends. And what I do with that is when I set this in the truck, this is the bottom side here. This lines up on the inner box side below where the, or I guess it's above where the floor used to be. And then I drill and bolt this to the box side. And then when the floor goes in, it'll get bolted as well to the box sides. So what these bolts are going to do is hold the whole bed in place while I'm bolting the bed together. It's going to allow the bed to be tore down as opposed to welding it all in place. If a guy ever has to take it apart to replace a bedside or something, at least you'll be able to. Okay, I have the mounting tabs all welded on, 6 plug welds on each. I got the 2 holes drilled in the box sides, the inner box sides, for my supports on the end here. I'm just going to get this one bolted back in. I did stamp everything right and left, just so nothing gets all mixed up here. Okay, we're back again. I've got all of the, well, not all of them. I've got 4 of the cross braces mounted in the truck. Everything's level. I've got a straight edge running across them all. They're all bolted to the inner box side there on both sides. There's 1 bolt on the bottom. Next thing I have to do is I'm going to bolt a piece of angle. I've got some 1x1 1/8 angle in the right spot across the front here to intersect for the floor of the bed to sit on. And then once I get that, I'm going to trim the floor all up to get a proper fit, and then I can take a measurement as to where this 5th cross brace is going to go. Right now there's holes for it right here, but I kind of think that's going to interfere with the openings for the wheel cutouts, so, or the wheel tubs. So I'm going to get the floor all squared up here, get that piece of angle ready to bolt on, and then we can see how things are going. Okay, we're back again. I've got the floor all squared up. I got I think there's 98 plug weld holes drilled. I've got weld through primer on the back side. Everything's ready to go in. Just going to show you the back of the truck here. I got all the cross members in. Let the light adjust here. Okay, all of the cross members are in. I ground the top and put weld through primer on everything. Now all I have to do is get this flimsy tippy piece, set it in there, and see how it's going to fit. Got my 1 inch across the front there, so hopefully it's all going to work out. Okay, only bled once. When you drop this on your head with the sharpest corner of it, it makes a little bit of a leak, but we got her. It fits in there just beauty. Really happy. Now I got almost 100 plug welds to do, and then I've got to modify the fenders or the wheel tubs to fit in there as well. So, okay, we'll be back, guys. Okay, everyone. I know I said I was putting this thing away, but we're back inside the shop. I figured it was better to do all these plug welds inside out of the wind. And I've got another little project I've got to do that involves this as well as the 65 Fargo. So I'll just show you how the fit turned out here. The inside of this box is exactly the same width as the square body. So this fit in here perfectly. I can drill the holes underneath and bolt it to the side panels here, which will add a bunch of strength. The wheel tubs are considerably longer on this than they were on the 59, and they bolt to a flange. See if I can get in here around the edge. And I had no choice here, so I had to bend the flange up, front and back, because of the position of the cross members into the 03. So I'm going to have to modify the tubs a little bit, well, quite a bit actually, how they mount at the back. They'll still bolt in here, and I'm going to cut them way down so that they bolt to the original spots here. I don't believe I'll run into an issue with bottoming. That's probably going to be about 7 inches, maybe a little better than 7 inches of travel. So next thing I got to do is get all the plug welds done here, and I can bring you back. Back here, I'm going to build a drop down that I'm going to weld to the back edge. It'll come down and bolt to the rear panel in all of the original holes here. So other than the box being a little bit shallower by 5 inches than it used to be, I'm good with it. It's going to work out really well, so I'll bring you back. Okay, we're back again. I'm just working on plug welding the floor down to all of the subframe cross members here. What I've got a 2x4 and a 2x6 here that's clamped to the top of my box sides, a bottle jack and a piece of 1-inch tubing, and I'm just putting slight pressure down to keep everything nice and tight on the cross members while I do the plug welds here. Okay, I'm just going to keep working at this. I move the jack over into each rib as I go, just to keep it all nice and tight. I've got 1 row done here. Just started on the back row here, and then I've got 3 more to do, 4 more to do on my way up to the front there on this. So, okay, so all the plug welds are done. Everything's nice and solid. I'm just started working on the wheel tubs here. What I've done is I cut the top off of it. There's kind of a body line or an indent in it here. I followed that. I'm going to roll this edge over as well, and then I can weld my cap onto the top here. So these things are only going to be as high as this inside lip is here, all the way to the front. That's going to give me probably 6 inches of up travel, which is more than it's got from the bump stops. So I'm going to carry on with this. I've got to drill some holes and such on the sides here. What I had to do was trim the corners out, and I'll show you when I take it out. And then the piece that used to bolt front and rear, I bent it in as a flange, just like it is up at the front there, so that I could bolt down through the bottom piece. So I'll get you back here once I get moving on this. Okay guys, here's why I'm back working on the 59. I guess it just doesn't want to be spring. Yuck. Anyhow, I've got the passenger side lower section in and shaped. I've got all my bolts in. What I did was I rolled this edge using a buck underneath, rolled it in to match the backside here. Then I can make the upper piece to fill this in. I'm just getting the driver's side ready to cut apart here. Forgot to bring it in yesterday, so she's a little covered with snow. But I'm just going to cut it off the same as the passenger side, across here, all the way across. I've got to cut this corner out, and then I have to bend these lips inwards so that it can be bolted down. So I'll get going on this, get her all cut out, and get this one fit up, and then we can start shaping some steel for the tops. Okay, we're back again. I've got both sides. The lower section is in, adjusted, and I've got this edge rolled down. See if I could show you from here. So now what I'm going to do is build the top, and it's going to have a slight dome in it just to add some strength. The original ones in the 59 came up about an inch above the where it's bolted on there, and I'm probably going to do the same on this just for an extra inch of wheel travel, as well as to give this some strength. So we'll just get started on this, and I'll show you how we're going to go about it. Okay guys, I've been working on the top of this wheel tub, trying to get everything figured out as to how to go about building it and making it strong. So what I've done is figured out, get you in frame here. I took a piece 13.5 inches wide of 18 gauge. I broke it at 2 inches. I had to make a relief in it here for the side pocket stiffener in the box. And then I marked the center hole that's in the existing 59 bed where it bolts. And I marked the 2 next ones, which I'm going to have to leave for a bit here. I then figured out 3 equal distance here, and I put in 2 half-inch beads as deep as I could get them. And then I broke it at 3/4 of an inch on the inside edge here. What I'm going to do now to get the hump shape in it is I'm going to shrink on each of these marks on both sides of it to get it to turn down slightly, to come down to meet the front and rear on the wheel tub. Okay, we're all ready and set up here, ready to shrink. Going to be a little bit tough figuring out how much to shrink it. And this only goes an inch deep, so let's try the other side. Center here. I don't think it's going to need a whole lot. Okay, so I've got some shrink in the outside edge there now, and it doesn't seem to want to do much here on the inside edge. Well, there we go. Just going to take a little bit more work on the inside. Okay, I'll carry on with this, and then I'll bring you back once I got it all shrunk down here. Okay guys, so I got this shrunk. What I ended up having to do was I cut a little slot from 1 inch down up to the edge here on both sides, because my shrinker will only go in an inch, and what it was doing was just gathering this and causing a pucker here. So by just putting a relief in here, I was able to shrink it the same as the outside. Now I can weld this up once I've got everything finalized and get it ready to bolt in there. So okay, I've got this marked out roughly what I have to do for a trim here. I got a line on each side, and then I have to trim the corner around like this to follow the edge, and then I'll have to do a little bit of hammer and dolly work to make everything fit there. Okay, here we are again. I've got everything fit. I've got 3 bolts in the inside edge holding it to the box side. I got a really good fit all the way around. Now the inside edge of this wheel well, because there was so many dents in the wheel well, it's kind of got a snaky appearance to it. So what I'm going to have to do is just tack that in a few spots and then kind of beat it into submission where it's supposed to go. So what I'm going to start on now is I'm going to do a couple tacks on each end just to hold everything down, and then I'm going to start lining up this this inside edge here and get it all tacked into place as well. Okay, so we've got the ends welded down. I've got this edge straightened out really nice. I'm just going to continue. I'm going to weld that all the way along. Then I can pull this whole assembly out, and I've got to drill 2 more holes up in the corners here for 2 more bolts. A little planishing, a little grinding, and the first one will be done. Okay guys, I got this all sanded up, ground down. I'm just going to take it to the planishing hammer now. It's kind of dropped on me in here a little bit. It's got a low spot, so I'm just going to raise this up with the planishing hammer. And then I've got the same thing right here. I'm going to do the same, and then there's just a couple of spots down the side here. So I'm just going to run it through there quick. It is only in the bed. This is all going to get seam sealed, and then it's all going to get a coat of bed liner on it. So I'm not really worried about the finish on it terribly. So I'll just get her straightened out here. I got a couple more holes to drill, and then this can all go back together, and I can make one for the other side. Okay, so the passenger side is done. Got it all cleaned up. It's all bolted in, really nice and solid. I got all of them low spots planished out of it. It's really good and strong. Got no oil canning or anything in it, so we'll just call that one good. Now all I have to do is the same thing on the driver's side, and then I've got to build a piece to fill in the back here to go from the original rear cross member up to the floor, and I think we'll do that in the next video. So let me get you on the tripod here. Okay, so I think we're going to call that good for this video. I think it's getting pretty long, and we'll go from there. So when I come back, I'll have the other wheel well done, and I should be starting on the back here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do for that. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in, and because the weather was bad, I got to work on the 59 some more. So looks like I got a couple more days of bad weather. I should be able to get this all wrapped up. So thanks a bunch, guys. Catch you on the next one.